Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in today to OCNJ Daily. I'd like to introduce you to our guest this afternoon, Congressman Frank LoBiondo. Congressman has been a great advocate for us here in Ocean City, for the state of New Jersey, and for the United States, and we're honored to have you with us.
Well, thank you, Michael. Honored to be here.
Congressman, we're in the height of our tourist season. Everywhere we look, we have people enjoying the beach and the boardwalk and everything Ocean City has to offer. A lot of people don't understand the effort that goes into maintaining the beaches to the quality and the standards. We've been nominated for Best Beach in the United States by Coastal Living magazine and Best Beach in New Jersey just yesterday. Can you give us an idea of what the federal government's level, what your involvement is with helping us maintain the north end, the south end on the island here?
Well, it's a great question, and the beach replenishment challenge, if you will, for the Army Corps of Engineers has essentially been a decades-long challenge. My predecessors had the challenge. I've had the challenge for 20 years, and it's a testament to how Ocean City has handled things, because in order to have these projects, it has to be a partnership. And while the federal government takes the lead, we won't take the lead unless everything is as it should be, and that's where Ocean City has done such a magnificent job. So we have a challenge because of the funding. Successive presidents, Republicans and Democrats, have decided that projects like this aren't a good idea. I kid my colleagues, it's not about people getting a suntan, it's about jobs in the economy. And so we've been fortunate to have a great team. There's nothing that's guaranteed, but we've had great successes, and I anticipate we're going to continue to be able to provide to Ocean City and the Jersey Cape what they need.
Thank you very much for being an advocate for us, and all these businesses and the crowds we have here are a testament to the success of that project and the value it brings to us, so thank you. The second question I had to you is relative to our back bays and dredging. Whole nother aspect to this resort community that is so critically important. And I wondered if you could just give us an idea of what your involvement, the federal government's involvement is relative to trying to work with the Gillian administration to help us in these back bay challenges.
Well, it is a huge challenge, and it's a huge problem. Unfortunately, the federal government is not allowed to take the lead role on the back bays as it does when we talk about the ocean front. And the mayor and council have done a magnificent job in being very aggressive and proactive, but the state of New Jersey is the one who has to be convinced that the project moves forward, whether it's here in Ocean City or any of our coastal towns. The Army Corps of Engineers will play a role, but not until or unless the state of New Jersey does what they have to do. And I know the residents are frustrated. I know the city government is frustrated. I get a lot of phone calls on it. We want to see this project done, but my hands are sort of tied because the federal government cannot take the lead position.
Is there anything we can do as a community to affect that, improve that situation?
Well, I think you have been doing it. The mayor's been extremely proactive and, as I said, extremely aggressive along with City Council, and just pressing the case to the Department of Environmental Protection and Commissioner Bob Martin about how important these things are, and getting the permits necessary and getting the state convinced that Ocean City's plan is a good one.
Well, thank you, and we'll try and continue to fight the good fight from this side, but
right.
Really appreciate your support from the other side. The other topic that I wanted to explore is your relationship and your leadership on the CIA commission that you're on. I know you recently were out of the country on an international trip to work on the variety of challenges we face globally. Regarding the war on terror, we have all these recent incidents in Istanbul and in Paris and in Orlando. Can you give us some insight on how you think the Obama administration is handling these challenges and what they're doing relative to these threats, and just share with us what your thoughts are on the topic.
Well, it's a great and timely question because of the nature of the challenge around the world and here in this country. I'm very fortunate for the last 6 years to be asked to serve on the House Intelligence Committee, and for the last 2 years to serve as chairman of the CIA subcommittee. There are 17 intelligence agencies that are tasked with protecting our country, trying to make sure that terrorists don't bring their death and destruction here to our country. Increasingly challenging, and unfortunately, I don't have high marks for the President and the National Security Council. And this is not a Republican thing. On the Armed Services Committee, on the House Intelligence Committee, in a bipartisan way, we've attempted to convince the President of things that should be done in some really critical parts of the world, in the Middle East and especially in Africa, where terrorist organizations, in particular Al-Qaeda and ISIL, have been able to gain a foothold because the administration 4 or 5 years ago did not see fit to go after their funding source. And when you give an organization like ISIS the ability to raise millions and millions of dollars a day and basically be flush with cash to be able to radicalize, to be able to do all the things that they unfortunately have done extremely well in this nature of barbaric terrorism that they're trying to spread around the world, it's a huge challenge. So we've seen increasingly how this has spread. I just got back last night from a trip into Asia, specifically focusing on what the CIA is doing to help with our partner nations that are as concerned as we are. And we know we had a terrible incident in Turkey this week, tremendous death and destruction by people who don't see anything wrong with killing women and children in an indiscriminate way. It's a mentality we're not used to. And yes, it's a tough problem set, but I'm hopeful that the administration is starting to get it, National Security Council is starting to get it, and certainly I think the American people get that we have to be extremely vigilant.
Appreciate all your good work there. You know, you can't help but live in a resort community like this with our large influx of vacationers and guests. Is there anything that we can do here? Should we feel that there's a threat here to our community?
Well, there's a threat to our country.
Yeah.
A specific threat to the community, no. But something that the FBI says, and I'm trying to resonate that to citizens, whether it's here in Ocean City or anywhere around the country, if you see something, say something. We found that in San Bernardino, that the radicalized terrorists were doing things in the middle of the night out of a garage. And the neighbors were reluctant to report it because they just felt uneasy and they weren't sure how that would all work. The FBI will follow the lead quietly, professionally. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. But it's going to take a collected effort from not only the intelligence agencies and law enforcement, but from a vigilant society and vigilant citizens that many times these terrorists are giving hints, are giving signs. And we need to, as a country, pick up on that and give the FBI the opportunity to intervene.
Well, that sounds like some great advice, and I encourage our viewers to keep their eyes open here in our community and look after each other. And that's really the bottom line. If we work together and look after each other, we'll be all right.
It's been the story of America.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to come down and support us here in Ocean City, as you always do. And your great work is appreciated, and look forward to seeing you many more times.
Thanks for your work on council, and on behalf of Ocean City, I'm sure the residents are very appreciative.
Thank you.